Hey guys, Troy Francis coming at you from Miami Beach, Florida. Now, are nightclubs a waste of time for the modern man? Are nightclubs a waste of time for the modern man? Kind of appropriate to be filming this down here. It's not actually that late. It gets dark quite early here at the moment, but it's actually not that late in the evening. But already, as you can see, people are out and about, they're having dinner. The music is booming from the bars on Ocean Drive and the clubs and so on. And, you know, the night is young. People are going to be going out and having a good time. But should you be? Or are nightclubs a waste of time? Well, here's the thing, right? It depends on the kind of nightclub it is. It also depends on some other things as well, like your age, the kind of thing that you like, whether you're actually into nightclubs or not in the first place. So there's a number of other factors involved as well. But I would say that the type of nightclub is very, very key in terms of whether it's going to be a waste of time for you or not. And of course, what we're talking about here, we're talking about a waste of time, we're talking about in terms of dating, in terms of meeting somebody that might be that special someone that you can go home and snuggle up with and watch Netflix and all of that. Are nightclubs a waste of time? Well, the nightclub environment for a start is very much like being thrown to the lions, okay? It's a very classically, famously brutal sort of environment for the most part. I mean, not always. I mean, obviously you've got nice people wherever you go, but nightclubs, there's a bit of alcohol involved. People's shields are up a little bit as well. Look at this place here, look at this. Yeah, people's shields are up a little bit more, and there's alcohol involved and so on and so forth. So the rejections, the blowouts, if you like, can be a lot harsher than you might normally get in everyday life, okay? Because, you know, the girls are sort of pumped up on music and a couple of drinks, and they've also maybe been approached, let's say, by a bunch of other guys already with varying degrees of quality and success. And so, you know, they're ready to just let loose when you come over. So they can be quite harsh. So there's that. And what else? Loud music like this. Obviously, it costs money to go into these places often. It's late at night, which if you're anything like me, you kind of want to be in bed watching Netflix by about 9 p.m. So there's that downside to it as well. You've also got a bunch of other guys in the venue who are also trying to meet the same women, because when you think about it, when you think about mainstream culture, mainstream society, nightclubs and bars classically were always the place where people would meet each other, okay? This is before the advent of Tinder and all of that stuff. You know, where would you go to meet people? Well, you go to a club or you go to a bar, okay? So, and that still, even in 2023, that still remains classically the case. You know, if guys want to go out and socialize, then they're going to go to the club or the bar, and they're going to drink lots, and they're going to try and talk to girls, probably often in a very inexpert fashion, okay? So with all of that being said, nightclubs are not probably optimal. They're certainly not top of my list. I mean, I try to avoid going to nightclubs these days. I used to love it. And that's the other thing. When I started out, I used to go to nightclubs a lot, but that was because I liked the music. You know, I loved house music, I loved techno, I loved the club environment. For many, many years, I was completely obsessed with the nightclub environment. And so then when it came to, you know, socializing with the opposite sex, it was a pretty easy extension, if you like, of what I was doing anyway. And that's the other thing. If you are somebody who just absolutely hates the idea of a nightclub, if you hate electronic music or modern music or whatever, if it's just completely not your thing, forgetting about the dating side of things, if it's just not your thing anyway, then to go there with a view to trying to meet women is probably not a good idea, because you're just going to be completely out of your element. If it's a kind of environment in which you feel relatively comfortable anyway, then, you know, that's slightly different, because you can leverage that in order to, you know, enjoy the environment and also make it a place where you're going to meet people as well. Okay, so you've got to think about that. You've got to think about your own personal interests and proclivities. What else? Age plays into it. I mean, obviously, as and a lot of the content on this channel now is aimed at the slightly more mature gentleman. And obviously, if you're a slightly more mature gentleman, you might feel a little bit out of place in the nightclub, depending on the kind of club it is, where it is, what country it's in, all of these different things, okay? So all of those things you've got to take into account. And then, as I said, it comes down to the nature of the nightclub, because nightclubs are not all exactly the same, okay? There are different kinds of nighttime environments. And the place where we have had the most success, the most fun, let's say, in the last year or so, has been a big nightclub in Bogota, in Colombia. This crazy anything goes club where you get all kinds of different people there, loads and loads of girls. It's very fun. There's no discernible VIP area or bottle service or any of that stuff. It's a very egalitarian, democratic sort of a place. Everybody talks to everybody, everybody's dancing, partying, just having an amazing time. And in that kind of environment, it can work really well because you can start conversations with lots of different people, guys, girls, whatever, be super social, and look at how people are responding to you. And, you're going to see some interest from some women, and then obviously you can spend a bit more time with them as the evening goes on. Okay. What you want to avoid, in my view, is the sort of very stuffy, upscale New York City, London type nightclub where there's bottle service and people are spending 20 grand on a table and all this kind of thing. It's just not a good vibe. It's just the vibe is not good. It's very snobby. You can end up spending a load of money on a table and it not really having the effect that you wanted it to have. Equally, you can go there and spend a load of money and there's some guy who's outspending you on the next table anyway. There's a load of competition. It's just not a great environment, I think. So I would concentrate, and I suppose this is the takeout from this video, I would concentrate on trying to find places, trying to find night spots, whether they're clubs or bars or whatever, where you can actually enjoy yourself, where it's actually quite fun, okay? Because if you can do that, then it's a double win, because you're going to enjoy yourself while you're there, your vibe is going to be better, and you're going to therefore be more social when you are talking to women that you find attractive there. Okay, so that would be my prescription for the nightclub thing. I wouldn't rule them out entirely. It's not my preference, but then I'm at a certain time of life and all the rest of it. I've been there, done that. For you, it might be different. I wouldn't make it the mainstay, but it's definitely something that can be a lot of fun if you find the right places. And with that being said, if you want to talk to me about any aspect of your dating life, then drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, or hit the Calendly link below. And subscribe to the channel and support the channel on Patreon. The link is below. See you again very soon. Bye-bye.